Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning, it's Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. A security guard for the SAFEWAY grocery store on Forest Drive in Annapolis is being treated in a local hospital for a gunshot wound after being shot outside the supermarket in the parking lot. Police were called to the scene for, quote, a major trauma around 9 p.m. last night. And from witnesses at the scene, the security guard for the Safeway was shot in the parking lot, and the scene was very chaotic as shoppers were rushing into the store to escape the shooting. Police do not have a suspect at this time, and despite the dispatch for major trauma, Ward 2 Alderman Fred Paone advised on Facebook that the guard was grazed with a bullet and he was not the intended target. Later on last night, the police did release a statement saying that officers arrived and the man had a graze wound to his chest from a bullet. He was transported to an area hospital for treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. Detectives believe that there were 2 groups of men outside that exchanged gunfire. The victim, who was also outside, was grazed by the bullet, and it's unknown at this time if the victim was an intended target or not. The police do not have any suspects at this time. It is an active investigation, and anyone with information is urged to call the Annapolis Police Department and Detective Chuck Bielfeld at 443-986-5561. The National Night Out festivities at Fort Meade took a dangerous turn last night as a storm came into the area. A flash of lightning struck near a group of 4 people. Initially, crews were dispatched for a lightning strike. However, they were not hit directly by the lightning, but they did feel tingly sensations throughout their bodies. 3 were treated on site, and 1 adult male went to the University of Maryland, Baltimore-Washington Medical Center for care. The National Night Out festivities were delayed for about 30 minutes, but as the weather did not subside, they were eventually canceled, and this is the second year in a row that weather has canceled the event. As a result of all the crap coming down the Susquehanna River into the bay, Anne Arundel County Executive Steve Shue has said that the county will be placing dumpsters in waterfront communities so residents can clean up logs and branches. The county is working with neighborhood community associations to identify specific locations where to place the trash receptacles, and the county executive said, "We want to make it as easy as possible for our communities to come together and return our beaches to usable condition." Now, while the county is placing and will collect the dumpsters, they are not handling the cleanup, and that will be the responsibility of the waterfront neighborhoods and the property owners that are there. Related to that junk coming down the Susquehanna River, the leaders from the 6 states met yesterday in Baltimore to discuss improving the health of the Chesapeake Bay. It was the annual meeting of the Chesapeake Executive Council, which Governor Larry Hogan does chair, and he urged other states to do more. During the meeting, Hogan was unanimously elected to re-chair the Chesapeake Executive Council for another year. Now, Hogan has been very critical of our upstream neighbors, such as Pennsylvania, and in advance of this meeting, Hogan had said that I'm sure we'll be having some frank discussions about who can do more to clean up the bay. We've done our part, but other people need to step it up. We have to have upstream states and the EPA take some responsibility for the stuff that's pouring down the Susquehanna, over the Conowingo, and into the bay. And they did have some frank discussions, and Patrick McDonnell, Pennsylvania's Secretary of Environmental Protection, did admit that the state has not done its part to reduce pollution. He did say that that will change as a target to restore the Chesapeake, which was set to be 2025, is now within sight. McDonnell told the council, "We are committed and developing a plan that gets us to 2025. We are clearly behind, but we've taken that as an opportunity to double down." Well, it is good to see that Pennsylvania is just as adept at kicking the can down the road as most other municipalities are. If you live up in Glen Burnie or out in Laurel, Walmart will soon begin to deliver groceries. For an additional fee of $9.95, you can have a personal shopper at Walmart pick out all of your goods and hand it off to a driver from DoorDash. And from there, you can select a 1-hour window for delivery. Walmart does say tipping is optional and should be provided in cash. That delivery service will begin on August 14th. You don't need to be a member. You can just go to DoorDash and make your order there if you like to do that. And I know that going to the MVA can be stressful for many people, especially young drivers. Here is the most valuable tip that I can give you when you're going to take your driving exam. Listen up, kids. If you go to take your driving exam at the MVA in Glen Burnie, leave your pound of marijuana, your digital scale, your $15,000 in cash, and your loaded 9mm Glock with a 30-round magazine and the serial number obliterated at home. It's as simple as that. Yes, Reginald Wooding of Baltimore, 22, was waiting in line at the MVA to take his driving test. When the license examiner got into the car, she smelled what she thought was pot. She called over the state trooper that was stationed there, and he said, well, yeah, that's pot. Wooding faces several charges relating to drug trafficking as well as firearm possessions. Incidentally, the serial number for the firearm was obliterated. And in true Maryland form, after he was processed at the state police barrack, he was taken for an initial court appearance where he was released on a $7,500 unsecured bond. So that means he popped up $750 and was set free. I don't imagine that's too difficult for somebody that had $15,000 in cash on them to start with. Welcome to Maryland, folks. Hey, that's about it for the top news today. Please be sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it with news stories throughout the day. Make sure you're recommending this daily news brief to your friends and neighbors and coworkers and enemies and anybody that wants to listen to you. Stick around. We have George Young with DMV Weather, and he's got your local weather forecast coming up right after this brief message from Kegs and Corks.
Don't miss the best event of the summer. Come out Saturday, August 18th for the Kegs and Corks Festival at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds. Get tickets now at kegsandcorksfest.com to begin the party at noon instead of 1 with early access tickets. Tickets benefit the Special Olympics of Maryland and include a souvenir glass, unlimited wine and beer samples, plus live music all day, including headliner Kristen and the Noise. Enjoy over 80 Maryland wines, 40 craft beers, incredible food, and more. Go now to kegsandcorksfest.com.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, August 8th. You'll be hard-pressed to find much of a difference between the weather outside today and the first 2 days of the work week in Annapolis and across all of Anne Arundel County, as temps again get into the 88 to 95 degree range with heat indices 95 to 105 degrees and a chance for yet more PM storms. But then we get a couple of days slightly less heat and humidity Thursday and Friday, as well as decreased chances for rain, but temps will still be in the 85 to 90 degree range for highs, so kind of normal for early to mid-August. Then for the weekend, rain chances unfortunately return as another frontal boundary sets up shop overhead, but at least temps will be down into the 82 to 87 degree range, so while maybe a little bit wet for the weekend, at least not oppressively hot and humid. Okay, that's it for today. Make it a great day, and be sure to follow DMV Weather anywhere all the time at dmvweather.com or on social media via Twitter or Facebook, or especially on our free app that you can download from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store on all of your devices by searching for DC MDVA Weather, so you can always stay weather informed. But remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Hi, I'm Anne Arundel County Executive Steve Shue. Pain never killed anyone, but heroin does. We're tired of losing our mothers, fathers, daughters, and sons to this epidemic. Step up and join our effort to stop creating new users. Doctor's orders.
Go to aacounty.org/heroin to learn more about how you can stop addiction.
September 29th, the inaugural Twist and Stout Festival at Quiet Waters Park along the shores of the South River. Twist and Stout, a Maryland wine, craft beer, music, food, and arts festival, presented by the Anne Arundel County Department of Recreation and Parks along with the Maryland Wineries Association. Sample dozens of craft beers and Maryland wines, dance the afternoon away to the sounds of Saved by Zero and the Groove Spot Band. Watch the plein air painters and shop dozens of artisans, crafters, and food trucks. Tickets are on sale now at twistandstout.org, twistandstout.org. September 29th, Twist and Stout at Quiet Waters Park, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets at twistandstout.org. Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.